Hey YouTubers, welcome to Pokemon Team Building 101. This is Tuperius, and because of the overwhelming support and need for a basic team building video, I put this together. And I was talking to my Uxie earlier today and we were making psychic predictions, and if you are watching this, I am predicting that you're a noob, and you're probably a huge subscriber to YouNoob. But that's okay. It's not a bad thing to be a noob. Everybody was a noob at one point. I was a noob at one point. It was a long time ago, but I was a noob. Okay, let's get this out of the way. You are a noob. You are such a noob that dorks like this laugh at you in public. And guess what? That hurts your feelings. But don't cry. By the time you're done with this team building series, hopefully your Pokemon skills at competitive battling will be just as sexy as Carrie Underwood. And let's face it, if you're as sexy as Carrie Underwood, you don't even need Pokemon. Okay. So you've seen the antics of Ash and Pikachu on the Cartoon Network, and guess what? You think you can KO an Onix with a Thunderbolt after you get it wet. That doesn't happen. Unfortunately, the cartoon is not based in the same reality that the game is. Many fallacies, trust me. Oh, wait a second. You've beaten the Platinum Elite Four? Guess what? The Platinum Elite Four sucks donkey balls. So, let's not go there. Okay. Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. This is what we need to battle competitively online. Just a quick reference there. Okay, Smogon, Cerebi, Maryland. If you do not use these sites, this team building exercise will not help you, because I'm going to tell you to use very specific parts of these sites. Use them. They're excellent references. Okay. We are not doing any team building today. We are going to build up to that. This is going to be the reference for everything that I'm going to do in the next couple videos. So we are going over individualized Pokemon basics today. Alright. If you don't know, there are 17 different types of Pokemon. They are also called the Pokemon's elements. Okay. There's a list of the 17. You have to know these and what Pokemon they pertain to before you build a team. Another important tool you need is a Pokemon type/battle chart. What that tells you is the type of attacks and how effective, ineffective, super effective, or neutral they are to different Pokemon types. Alright, we're going to into Pokemon base stats, because I'm going to be talking about them an awful lot while we're building teams. A Pokemon's base stats are not what you look up on your game. A Pokemon's base stats are used to categorize the Pokemon and make it so you can compare without having to look up the total stats of each Pokemon to each other. These are very important. You can find them on Cerebi real easy. This is an example of what base stats are not. These are a Pokemon's total stats. This is what you find in your game. Okay, the first base stat we are going to talk about are hit points. Hit points are the health of your Pokemon. The more hit points you have, the more damage you can sustain from a physical or special attack. Hit points, you can see in this picture, are the green bars with the red HP beside them. The greener the line, the more hit points you have left on your Pokemon. Okay, let's get into attack. This is also called physical attack. Pretty much what these are attacks that, by what would be a standardized definition in real life, would have physical contact. Dynamic punch, focus punch, thunder punch, earthquake. All those kinds of moves are physically based. Okay, physical defense. Pretty much what this is the counter to physical attack. Just like a block in a boxing match, this stat, the higher it is, the more physical attack damage you can withstand. So, like I said, the thicker the walls are on your fortress, the more bombardment you can take. Plain and simple. Special attack. These are the attacks that, by what again would be an in real life standardized definition, would not actually involve contact, just like in Dragon Ball Z with the Kamehameha. No physical contact is made. Moves like Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Flamethrower. Things that you can do without actually touching something are what are called special attacks. Okay, special defense. Again, the counter to special attacks. We're going to say this is kind of like a force field. Why am I calling it a force field? Because in most sci-fi stuff, you can walk through a force field physically, but if you shoot a laser beam or you hurl something at it, it's not going to go through the force field. So, special defense. Again, the higher special defense, the more special attack you can withstand. Okay, speed. I'm not talking about the drug. I'm talking about the thing we all have a need for. Speed. If you do not understand the definition of speed at this point in your life, you should seriously think about admitting yourself to the nearest psycho ward. Okay. General categories as they pertain to competitive battling. I'm going to go over the three most basic ones. The first one is sweepers. And no, I'm not talking about vacuum sweepers. I am talking about Pokemon that are offensively minded. Pokemon generally have high attack stats, high speed. This is an example of a physical sweeper. Gyarados, high attack, high speed. With Dragon Dance, he can outrun everything and beat the crap out of it. Heatran, good special attack, fairly decent speed. This is a good example of a special sweeper. Okay, we're going to move on to walls. Not a brick wall, but feel free to beat your head against it in case you're a little bit more advanced than what this video is teaching you. Okay, anyways, physical walls. Well, actually, I'm talking more about defensive walls. I'm not talking about Pink Floyd's walls. I'm not talking about the wall that made Dale Earnhardt famous and, dead. I'm talking about walls in Pokemon. These are defensively minded Pokemon. This is Steelix. His physical defense is insane. Good hit points. Two things walls should have. Slowking, a good special defender. Good special defense, good hit points. Okay, plain and simple. Now we're going to move on to tanks. And no, I'm not talking about the Abrams tank. But like an Abrams tank, tanks in the Pokemon world can take a licking, keep on ticking, and deal out a fairly good amount of damage. Metagross is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of a tank on Pokemon. Awesome attack, awesome defense, can take physical hits and deal them out just as good. Latios is another example of a tank. It has awesome attack and has really, really respectable defenses. Okay, so we're going to move on to tiers. For all intents and purposes of my team building tutorial here, we are going to be using the Smogon tiers. And I'm going to be mostly basing this off of the overused tier, also called OU. There are a bunch of other tiers that if you've watched my battles, you've heard me talk about uber, borderline, underused, never used. If you don't know what those are, go to Smogon and look them up. Okay, and I am basing all of this information off the standard rules and clauses. If you don't know what those are, I'm going to list them for you. Google them if you don't know what they are. Okay, plain and simple, the very first rule, no Ubers. Almost any site you go to does not allow you to battle Ubers unless it's an Uber-specific match. Sleep clause, you cannot forcibly put more than one of your opponent's Pokemon to sleep at a time. Species clause, you can't have two of the same Pokemon on your team. Evasion clause, you cannot use moves like Double Team or Minimize, which raise your evasion. One-hit KO clause, you cannot use moves like Fissure or Sheer Cold that one-hit KO your opponent. No hacks items, you cannot use items like Razor Claw, Quick Claw, Bright Powder, which only have a chance of having their actual benefit. Okay, I'm going to throw out some thank yous right now to Fizz, Ridley, R2Shoot, Smogon, Cerebi, and Maryland, and any other references I name in these battles because you're all helping me out here. Alright guys, don't cry. Not like the Fizz here. There'll be another video up soon. I want to thank you for watching. Please don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you think this is going. Let me know what I can do to make it better. Next time we're going to learn the ingredients for a well-balanced team. Alright guys, this is Tuperius. Peace out, catch you on the flip side.